Jost Van Dyke is the smallest of the four main islands of the British Virgin Islands, measuring roughly 8 square kilometres. It rests in the northern portion of the archipelago of the Virgin Islands, located in the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. Jost Van Dyke lies about 8 kilometres to the northwest of Tortola and 8 kilometres to the north of St. John.Little. Jost Van Dyke lies off its eastern end. Like many of the neighbouring islands, it is volcanic in origin and mountainous. The highest point on the island is Majoni Hill at 321 metres. History. Despite rumours that the island's name comes from that of a 17th-century Dutch privateer, Jost Van Dyke, who used its harbours as a hideout, there is no factual evidence supporting this claim. Just who Jost Van Dyke's namesake is remains a mystery. John C.Little, founder of the Medical Society of London, is Jost Van Dyke's most noteworthy resident. Although the English captured the BVI in 1672, it seems that Jost Van Dyke was mostly ignored until the mid-18th century. A map drawn of the BVI in 1717 by Captain John.Little does not depict either Jost Van Dyke or Little Jost Van Dyke. The remains of a sugar works on the ridge above Great Harbour provide archaeological evidence that some sugar cane was under cultivation and processed, though probably not in any great quantity. In 1815, 140 acres were under cotton cultivation, producing £21,000 annually. There was a population of 428. By 1825, cotton production decreased to £17,000, while the population increased to 506. Similar to other islands in the region, JVD and the BVI saw gradual and irreversible economic decline throughout the 18th century. Curiously though, the population of Jost Van Dyke continued to increase. Thereafter, many BVI islanders regularly sought work at the Royal Mail steam packet company's coaling wharves in St. Thomas. By 1853, Dukan attributes a population of 1,235 residents on Jost Van Dyke, 196 of whom died of a cholera outbreak in that same year. For the Emancipation era forward, the community of Jost Van Dyke subsisted mainly on small-scale fishing and subsistence agriculture. Charcoal making was a practice that began during the plantation era, when strong fires were vital for sugar and rum production, and charcoal making emerged as a primary industry for the BVI during the post-emancipation years. Between the 1920s and 1960s, an estimated 20,000 tons of charcoal were exported from the BVI to the U.S. Virgin Islands. According to island residents, on JVD, people would work collectively to build charcoal pits, a practice that occasionally continues to this day. The pits were often a social gathering place. Women might use the heat of the fire to bake bread or roast breadfruit, while the men might play dominoes around the pit. Maritime resources were also extremely important historically to the people of Jost Van Dyke, and the island has emerged as a fishing village. The desire for trade and social interaction with nearby islands stimulated the development of seafaring skills. Sailing, fishing, rowing and boat construction flourished. Small, locally constructed sailing vessels, the Tortola boat, flourished in the BVI until about the 1960s, when they were replaced with motorized craft. Demographics and tourism. As at the 2010 census, the population of Jost Van Dyke was 298. The population has grown strongly in recent decades, in line with the population of the Virgin Islands. Its recorded population in 1991 was 140. The island has a young population, with nearly one-half of residents under the age of 35 and almost 70% under the age of 50. Jost Van Dyke receives numerous visitors. The island is accessible by private boats and ferry service from Tortola, St. Thomas, and St. John. The most frequent destination is Great Harbour. The beach strip around the harbour is lined with small bars and restaurants. Since the late 1960s, Fox's Bar in Great Harbour has been a popular stop for Caribbean boaters. Fox's and the other bars in Great Harbour now host a modest crowd year-round and are filled with thousands of partiers on New Year's Eve. Great Harbour is one of the busiest ports in the BVI. In 2008, nearly 7,000 boats cleared through the island's port. Today, tourism, and particularly yachting tourism, is the mainstay of the economy. Located in nearby White Bay is the Soggy Dollar Bar, another famous beach bar on the island. The Soggy Dollar is reputedly the birthplace of the popular drink known as the Painkiller. The Soggy Dollar Bar is appropriately named because when built there was neither road nor dock. To reach the beach where the bar is located, it is a common practice for boaters to anchor off the beach, swim to shore, and pay for the drinks with wet money. Today, White Bay is lined with beach bars and is a very popular stop for yachts and boaters from Tortola, St. Thomas, and St. John. Group tours from the USVI and even small cruise ships are also frequent visitors. On the east side of Jost Van Dyke, Fox's Taboo is a locally famous lunch restaurant, bar, and gift shop. A dock is available for day boaters. Nearby, a natural rock formation called the Bubbly Pool is a popular attraction. It gets its name from the bubbles that form in the water when waves crash against the rocks. The country music video for Kenny Chesney's 2002 recording No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problems was filmed on and around Jost Van Dyke. Included in the video were several scenes at One Love Bar, an Ivan's stress-free bar where it is common for patrons to mix their own drinks and leave the payment in the register. Chesney also references Jost Van Dyke in his song Somewhere in the Sun from his album Be As You Are. Education. The British Virgin Islands operate several government schools. Jost Van Dyke residents are served by Jost Van Dyke Primary School, which offers both primary and secondary education. As of 2011, after students graduate from primary school, they attend secondary for 2 years on Jost Van Dyke. After completing 2 years of high school on Jost Van Dyke, students travel daily from Monday to Friday to the main island of Tortola to attend the Elmhurst High School. Students must catch the 7 a.m. ferry and return to Jost Van Dyke on the 4 p.m. ferry.